Hello and welcome back to another conservatory video stroke garden vlog. So today I'm going to show you how to take some cuttings from these hydrangeas. Now to me this isn't any old hydrangea, this is my nan's hydrangea and she's 92, so I've literally changed the colour of this through gardening, pruned it thousands of times and admired it every time I've been to my nan's garden. So I've got the opportunity to make some baby plants from it, so without further ado, let's get into this video. So these have come special delivery to me. I just mentioned in passing to my mum that I wouldn't mind some cuttings from my nan's hydrangea. My sister and my mum both agreed that they wouldn't mind one either because they're kind of special to us. So she's delivered me some, but they're obviously full of flower, which I will dry out and try and keep these colours, so I'll show you quickly how to do that. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how I'm going to take some successful cuttings from. I've done hydrangea cuttings many times before within the nursery and it's worked a treat. So let's get into it. So drying them out very quickly. So obviously the main parts is bringing it inside when it's nice and dry, so we've picked a really good day for that, not like my dahlias which I'm attempting to dry out this winter. So if we're just drying them out for the colour, then you can just sort of cut whole stems off, and then the trick is going to be to drip feed water. So you're not going to put them in a big vase of water so they constantly stay hydrated. You're going to drip feed them some water, so you're going to give them the fraction of the amount that you were. So daily, you're just going to give them bit by bit, slowly to nothing, and it will keep the colour within these beautiful flowers. So I'll show you what that will look like on a stem, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and take cuttings from them. So with any cuttings or anything like that, you want to be cutting below your leaf nodes here. So this is where all the hormone sits. I go on about it every time I do a propagation video. So this is where all the hormones sit. So you want to be doing your cuts just below there on each side anyway. So regardless whether we're drying these out or taking cuttings, that's the cut you want to make. So I'm just going to dry one out actually fully because I don't need all these for the cuttings. So I'll go ahead and drop that in a tiny bit of water. And like I say, day by day, I'll just be sort of drip feeding it, and I'm going to try and keep this beautiful colour. You can't really see because I'm working in the dark in the conservatory with only one sort of little light. However, this will be really stunning. And now onto the cutting itself. So it's a shame, however, this big flower head has got to come off. And the reason being is if we leave it on and we try and make the cutting and make baby plants, all it's going to do is it's going to try and concentrate on keeping that flower bud or that flower going. So unfortunately, for the sake of my cutting, it's got to go. And now it leaves me with something like that. So again, that's not enough. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is actually take the leaves off, because again, it's going to try and keep the leaves going as opposed to making roots. So I'm going to go ahead and take them off now. And that's what you're going to be left with. So you've got all this hormone at the bottom just there, and then you've got a growth point at the top just there. So no flower to be concentrating on and no leaves. So if you've got hormone rooting powder, then great, use it. Why not? Who has it knocking around? Not me. So I'm going to go ahead and put that straight into some compost. Before I do that, I'm going to repeat the process a couple more times, depending on how many I've got, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. That's what I've got off the cuttings that my mum bought me. If I could get like 6 of those, then that would be absolutely perfect. That's something I would aim for. These little guys, not so sure. I'm not so sure how well they will do. I'll put them in anyway. I'll make sure they don't touch just in case nothing happens with these, or they turn sour. Because if they're all touching, then they'll take. If one turns bad, they all will. But I'll show you how I'll set them out. And like I say, there's a couple in here that I don't really think that they'll do particularly anything. However, I've probably got 4 really good ones, 4 really strong ones, which I think they've got every chance of becoming a decent little cutting. So I'll show you what I'm going to do now. All I'm going to do is pop them in some multi-purpose compost. So I do love a terracotta pot. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm just going to pop them in around the sides. This will give them some stability. Like I said to you before, they won't touch. Sorry about that, I'm not watching what I'm doing. Right, so have a twirl. So height wise, you're looking at probably 6 to 8 inches. Some of these, you know, I'm sure you'll say they're a lot smaller, and they are. I'm going to give this a good water now, so I'm going to show you a couple of little different things. So you want to make your own little atmosphere, so anything like a zip tie clear bag or anything like that. So I'm going to show you what you can do, and then I'm going to show you where mine are going to sit for the winter. So don't be afraid to give these a really, really good water. If you're going to water them over the top, which I am, I recommend sort of you're going to dry these out before you put them into sort of their own little environment, and that just basically means you won't encourage any nasty stuff. So all I'd do is give it a good water, leave them out for half an hour or, you know, an hour, let these dry off, and then put this bag over the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, show you what that looks like. And it is simple as that. So obviously this is just like a zip tie style bag. So anything like that will just create its own atmosphere and sort of act as a mini greenhouse, really. That's going to give it all the moisture that it needs to retain. It's going to give you that little bit of heat over the whole pot and the plant, so it should encourage a nice good root system. I'm not going to do this because I have got something that I'm going to show you now, what I'm going to put it in. What I put in works for me, but this will work just as good. So if you guys just wanted a cheap way of doing it, free plants and all that good stuff, highly recommend that you do this. This is where mine's going to sit for the winter. So I'll basically just zip this up of an evening. The odd occasion I'll sort of vent it out, but for the most part this will steam up, create its own atmosphere, because I have already got some clematis cuttings in there which I've done a video on, buddleia, camellia, brugmansia, and I've got some waggy palms as well. I'm going to give this a really good water once it's in there. And that's where they're going to sit for the winter. So good water. I'm going to close the front, and that'll be that. That's where they're going to sit all winter. And that is it. So don't let them dry out. So it's just a case of checking on them, I don't know, once a week or something like that if you're for water, and like air it out once in a while just to see what's going on. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I've certainly enjoyed making it, actually. I love little things like this. So you guys want any advice or any particular videos, then I'm up for that. So anyway, I'm going to end the vlog. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the garden or the conservatory.